Hi guys! It's been a while since I've managed to do a video. For various reasons. There have been other things that have been demanding my time recently, but I'm back and I'm ready to give this another kick. And I have been reading in the meantime, so I'll probably end up doing a few in quick succession. As promised, my next review is Ink and Bone by Rachel Caine. This is a story about a world where the Great Library of Alexandria still exists and acts as a sort of supreme custodian of all knowledge and literature. Technology is quite different to ours. There's a system where any person can request a text and have it immediately sent to a handheld device. Kind of like the internet, except that all these texts are stored and managed by the library. The main character, Jess, is one of 30 students who go to the library to compete for job placements as scholars. As I mentioned before, I like the premise of this book. I was expecting a discussion of censorship and the value of knowledge. Instead, this turns out to be a fairly standard evil corporation protecting its power kind of story, and where these issues did arise, they weren't discussed very deeply and pretty much only from one side. The narrative is broken up between chapters by side notes which reveal background information about the story, the history of the world, and correspondence between secondary or background characters. For a story that primarily follows the point of view of one character, this is a good way of keeping the reader slightly ahead. But it also breaks up the narrative and kind of disrupts the flow. The world isn't very well formed, there's not enough description to kind of get it to solidify. It feels quite rushed in places. There's very little explanation of how the technology works. There seems to be some form of magic in existence, but the sort of uses and limitations of that aren't very well explained. Overall, this leads to a fairly weak impression of the world in which the story takes place. It's like looking at a close-up of a complicated machine where you can see parts working and moving, but you have no idea what the machine actually does. Yeah, so overall I was a little bit disappointed with Ink and Bone, but hey, moving on. Up next we have Matched. Another young adult dystopia, which I will be reviewing for you very soon. I hope you have enjoyed my review, and thank you for watching. Subscribe!